Hello and welcome to Morgan's Miles. Well, I'm Tim and I'm at the N.E.C for the Practical Classics Restoration Show. And this is my favourite time of the day because it's quiet and you can wander around. So let's go and take a wander and see what we can find.
One of the things I discovered when I got back home was that the microphones that I use decided that they were going to play an intermittent game with me. Sometimes they would work, sometimes they wouldn't. And this was one of the bits of footage that I filmed where there is literally no audio whatsoever. So, yeah, not quite sure what went wrong. Still trying to piece that one together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some music on in the background and let you have a wander around with me. If there's anything interesting, I might interject some words. So this is James Ibbetson's championship-winning car, and Andy Jones of Shrigley Engineering, ShrigleytubeTV. If you're into machining and imp engines, or any engines for that matter, check out his channel. It's brilliant. And that's Andy's race car underneath the treasure that he's got piled on top of it. He's a very quick driver, and that's a very, very, very quick imp.
Cool.
So, I've managed to find Andy Jones from
Tim.
ShrigleytubeTV.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm famous.
You are famous, mate.
Wow.
Well, you're a bit of a legend in the imp club circles anyway, but you know, there you go.
That's it then.
So,
I've made it.
wow, what a lot of trinketry.
Treasure, mate.
It's
all treasure.
It is, isn't it?
And the worrying thing, this is only a percentage of what's in the workshop, mate.
My
This
goodness.
is the best bit. Just trying to make the weekend pay, you know.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
promised the missus we're going to book a holiday on Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Problem is, I tend to come away from these places with more gear than I came with.
Yeah.
I bought some exhaust manifolds for the Husky V8 conversion off Ian2, and they were a steal.
Really?
I love buying stuff at these places.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Wow.
Can I interest you in a t-shirt? Have you got your own t-shirts yet?
I haven't got my own t-shirts yet. No.
It's coming, Tim.
It is. It
Have
will
you got
be.
to 1,000 subscribers?
Nah, not yet.
When
no,
you get there,
long way
mate,
off.
you
Yeah.
get £2 a week off YouTube for your efforts.
That much?
Honestly, it's all worth
it. Sweet. Excellent.
So how is the Rover? Have you finished the brakes and all that?
Yeah, it's back working. It's running. It's still not running quite right, but I'm going to get someone to have a play around with the carbs.
How did you persuade the missus it was a good idea for us to have that?
Now that was the interesting one. She found it.
Amazing.
She was looking for a cut-off for herself and went, "Oh, you like these, don't you?" Yeah. Oh well.
I wish I could get my missus in something like that. Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, it looked like a cool car, mate. I liked it.
It is nice. It is
They
nice.
like the drive really nice, don't they?
They do. Yeah, really do. Yeah.
So, on to the barn find section. Again, this is another bit where the footage was terrible, the audio was terrible, so I've just wound it right down. Anyway, so, Mark V Cortina. That was not as bad condition as this, which genuinely had to be seen to be believed. It literally had things growing in it, on it, under it. Basically, I think you could donate this to botany, and there's probably species growing on that don't exist anywhere else. Quite simply, one of the most decomposed cars I've seen at one of these events. It even had plants growing on the front bumper, which you're about to see. The holes were biblical. Definitely not restorable, I don't think. There you go. I don't think I've ever seen a bumper with plants growing out of it before. Quite magnificent. Yeah, probably more than a weekend's work, that one. Then on to this fantastic old, is it a shear line? Didn't look too bad from the outside, and then you looked inside it, and the mould build up on the headlining was unbelievable. You can just about make it out there. It was just white with mould. Not good. Don't breathe too deeply near it. Yes. And now on to something close to my heart. Yes, a Mondeo. In fact, this is Danny Hopkins from Practical Classics' car. This is actually quite an interesting one because it's the V6 gear. So it's got the really lovely plush interior, but it does appear to have been living under a bush for a while. Very similar in terms of the amount of gunge built up on the outside as my car when Matt Richardson discovered it. Doesn't quite look as minging inside as my Mondeo, but still, yeah, it's going to take a bit of work. Yeah, auto box with really lovely black leather interior. I wish my car had an interior that nice, I can tell you. Really rare to see them these days. You just don't see Mondeo estates. Yeah, it's probably most of those have gone off for banger racing. Little Standard Vanguard, little Beetleback car. Again, looks eminently restorable, this car. They're of course they got the straight six in them that went on to the TR6 and the Triumph 2000. Really, really good engine in those. Now something very, very different. This is a Hustler. It's a kit car. I think this particular one was based on either a Mini or a Metro. It's quite a late one because the original ones didn't actually have proper doors. They had sliding windows that you kind of clambered into. And the interior is really plush in this thing. And it actually had wind-down windows in the back, which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah, I was rather taken with that. This is a Cadillac flower car. So in fact, it's something you'd use at for funerals. It's vast. I mean, you could literally park an imp in the back of it. I'll make my usual joke that it needs its own postcode. That's where you put the flowers, of course. Yeah, huge. Absolutely huge. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you do with it, though. Here we go. Mazda 323. Little front-wheel drive car. I actually owned a couple of these myself. They're absolutely bulletproof mechanicals. Unfortunately, all the bodywork fell to pieces on the ones that I had. But yep, again, a car that is vanishing fast. You just don't see those. I think Scrappage got most of those. Chrysler 180, the big Avenger. Yeah, I actually I was talking to somebody, and there's photos of this car not that long ago at a classic car event. It just looks like it's fallen out of love with its owner, or the owner fell out of love with it. Again, it does look really restorable, just needs a really good clean, maybe a coat of paint. In fact, actually, I'd probably polish the paint, to be honest, but you know it's going to go matte again because it's red paint. Whether or not you could actually get some yellow bulbs in there so that the lights would work. Now, Triumph Stag, or Stagnant as I called it when I was at the show. My goodness, how this thing didn't snap in half when they brought it in, I will never know. The holes in the sills and, well, everything, it's just unbelievable. It's properly decomposed car, this one. Short of reshelling it, I don't think that's really savable. Yes, there was, as I say, I'm quite surprised they managed to get it in there without it snapping in half, because it did look incredibly wobbly, and if you look really carefully at the door gaps, they're much tighter at the top than they are at the bottom. Yeah, very decomposed. Shame. And then we had a hot rod that was a little bit out of place, if I felt personally. Nice to see, but yeah, very cool. Then on to a pair of low light miners. It's rare enough to find a low light that hasn't been restored at some point. To find a pair of them is, very unusual. You can buy most things for a miner these days, so I imagine that both of them could be restored. But yeah, a little bit of work would be needed on those. Now, parked next to it was a very interesting car, and I was very interested in the fact that it had a cock in the back. Yes, I'm a child. This is an SS. Of course, SS became Jaguar because post-war, a company called SS really did not go down well with the public, even though it did stand for Swallow Sidecars. Absolutely beautiful shape. I do hope that somebody restores this, because it is, that I could see myself driving that. That's a very cool car. Yeah, little baby bubble car. My wife was very, very taken with this when we went to visit on the Sunday. Didn't look like it needed much in the way of work, if I'm really honest with you. I think I probably could have got it running in a weekend with a little bit of a luck and a prevailing wind. It depends on how rotten it is underneath, but genuinely, it just looks like a really nice little patina car that you could have a lot of fun with. And then parked over here, Mark 1 Astra. Yeah, wow. I mean, this thing is one hell of a survivor car. These were everywhere about 20-25 years ago. And they've all gone. Where did they go? I mean, they're such a great driving car as well, especially the GTEs. I mean, they were superb. But yeah, another rare beast. And speaking of rare beasts, Mark II Transit, long wheelbase minibus. This particular vehicle appears to have been used at an airfield at some point in its life, from the markings and the logos on the back. Again, they've just all gone. I'd love to see that van repaired, because it deserves to go again. It's such a survivor. Now, this particular Miner is a split screen 50s example. It had been a project car for Practical Classics at some point in its life, but had been left somewhere. Yeah, it hasn't done it many favours, and somebody's been very clever with the stickers on the side. A lot of bird poo on the top of it as well. Really deserves to go again, because it's they're quite. It's survived all these years, but I'd be honest, looking at the rust that was in it, don't think it'll go again, really. Finally, little Fiat Uno Turbo. What a fabulous little pocket rocket these things were back in the day. Just would rev and rev and rev and rev and rev, but they all dissolved except this one. And genuinely, I think that really deserves a good wash, a bit of a service, sort out anything that's wrong with the mechanicals, and then just get it back on the road. What a great car. And now into the main hall, and as you can see, it was absolutely packed. So many car clubs. Let's go and see what we can find down here. And so to the Imp Club stand. There's John Ross's lovely maroon chamois. Mark Maynard's, I think it's a rally car, but is it rally or is it race? I'm not entirely sure, but it's a competition Imp. John Holloway's gorgeous Sunbeam Imp Sport that won a prize at the show, because rightly so. It was absolutely startlingly gorgeous looking car. Freshly restored by him at home. And in the other corner was another one of the Monte Carlo Imps, this time a Mark 1 with fantastic patination on the paint. Lovely. Well, I absolutely fell in love with this little mini-based kit car. Absolutely bonkers. Super short wheelbase, so it must be absolutely horrendous to drive, but who cares? It even had a yellow windscreen. I mean, yeah, how cool is that? Now, I'm fairly sure that that service barge Granada was on Bangers and Cash, you know, Matthewson's and all that. Anyone know for sure? And just across from there was the Practical Classics demonstration area where they're rebuilding their mini estate, which very impressive. And Danny Hopkins being silly with a sandwich, which is always nice to see. And now over to Rover P6 Corner. Yeah, gorgeous estate, this one. Beautiful restoration. I love the primrose yellow. Absolutely beautiful. Really early 64. That is undergoing some restoration work. A very strange Series 1 kind of crossover car that much later than it should be. Yeah, I mean, on a J plate, I would have thought that would be a Series 2 car, but no, it's definitely a Series 1. And a lovely 3.5. And finally, this deregistered, so what's that, 66 Rover P6 rally car. Absolutely lovely. And on to the final bit of footage. This is from the second of the P6 owners clubs. Sorry if I got the name wrong. There were some beautiful cars on this stand. This is the P6 Rover Owners Club. This was a gorgeous paprika coloured late model P6. Absolutely beautiful. I really loved the colour of this, and the interior was just to die for. Needed a couple of bits of paint here and there, but otherwise mint. Parked next to it was this gorgeous, is it Corsica Blue V8 with a white interior. I mean, can you imagine how difficult it is to keep a white interior that mint? Oh, fair play to you, whoever you are that owns that. That's lovely, lovely, lovely car. And parked next to that was this immaculate, again, very similar to mine, except mine isn't immaculate by any stretch. 2 I think this one was. I really loved the black leather interior, and it's given me ideas as to what to do with mine, because my interior is quite scruffy. So I may well actually fit a black leather interior the same as that. And finally, next to that was this glorious red Series 1 V8.
Well, that didn't go quite according to plan. It's now Sunday night. I don't quite know what was up with the microphones, but yeah, they decided that they weren't going to work very well. Yeah. Ho hum. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little bit that I did. It was an amazing show. It was lovely to bump into some fantastic people. Big shout out to the guys from MDS, you know, the Bulldog BDX people. Saw them today and they've been absolutely lovely. Yeah, just lovely people. Buy Bulldog BDX. It is fantastic. It's just the best penetrating oil that money can buy. It's just great. Anyway, and I'm not sponsored by them. They don't I have to buy everything that I use. I'm not big enough for anything like that. Lovely to see some old friends while I was there. Andrew Roberts. Who else did I see? Danny Hopkins, and a couple of people from the Imp Club that I haven't seen for a long time. Yeah, it's been lovely. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. I hope you've enjoyed this particular video. If you have done and you haven't already, please like and subscribe. There's loads more to come. And I'll see you in another video soon. Be seeing you.